My name is Zora Monico, previously known as Zora Bowens, but now it's Monaco as a liberation for my ancestors' slave owners' last name in the United States. I work with the Michigan Coalition for Reproductive Liberation in Michigan. We in Michigan face one of the most restrictive abortion bans currently pending because of a Planned Parenthood lawsuit that's going on right now. But we do have a trigger law that would basically make abortions completely illegal. I'm pleased to be speaking with you all right now. It's crazy to talk to you all internationally about the issue of abortion rights and bodily autonomy in America, but I'm grateful because the solidarity between countries is needed right now. I think I might have to really explain to you guys what is going on in America truly. So let me be frank. America's fucked up right now. The overturning of Roe versus Wade is tragic for many reasons. The ruling sets precedent to take away rights, any rights previously ruled on by the Supreme Court, specifically based on the Fifth Amendment, which is what they use to overturn Roe versus Wade. It's the right to due process, which is the right to life, liberty, and property, right? And that's the issue with the initial ruling of Roe versus Wade, was that the ruling was dangling on a vague interpretation to what the right to life is. Kind of ironic in this situation. But the next right to be taken away is going to be gay marriage. They're coming after the LGBTQIA+ community, and it has already started. There are many senators who say gay marriage should be a state right, i.e. easier to ban. Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas, for example, has already said any ruling decided using the Fifth Amendment needs to be revisited. That includes gay marriage, but that does not stop them from overturning other rulings that were made using other amendments. There's now a precedent for any judicial ruling to be overturned. That includes Brown versus the Board of Education, which ended segregated schools, something that my grandparents fought against. Senator John Cornyn of Texas, and I'm sorry if I don't know his didn't get that last name right, but I really don't give a fuck right now. In regards to Roe versus Wade, said, now du Plessis versus Ferguson and Brown versus the Board of Education, signaling that he wants segregation back. That was not a misspeak, that was a warning. They will be coming for Miranda rights, which is our right to understand our legal due process when police arrest you, and they've already started to do so in different states. They will also be coming for Tinker versus Des Moines, which allows students to peacefully protest in their schools, and much more. It's a very scary time for America right now. 11 out of 50 states have banned abortion completely, and 11 states are pending their decisions, my state included. That means about 100 million people without direct access to abortions right now. States are also working on laws to ban contraceptives like morning after pill, birth control, IUDs, and they're making it a felony to have them. These women, people with uterus, non-binary people, trans will go to jail when you're a felon in America. So you also lose the right to vote. They're also making it a felony to miscarry your child. By the First Amendment, we have separation of church and state. So how laws are being passed regardless is telling about how true we are to anything we say about the principles we have in America. And let me make things just a little bit more confusing about our system. Roe versus Wade was overturned by a Supreme Court, which has 3 new justices put in place by a president that lost the popular vote, meaning that most Americans did not want them to be president, and overturned a ruling that 61% of Americans want. I want to make it clear that America is not a democracy. It is an oligarchy ruled by corporations and billionaires. It does not matter what we want. And statistics have shown that it does not matter how we vote. It does not matter what we do. It's going to be what they want. And they may give us a little piece of a pie to make us happy every once in a while. American ideology is so lacking in empathy that pro-birth people would rather fight for someone to give birth rather than figure out how to fix a system of children who are homeless, who are hungry, children and parents who are on welfare, foster kids who have high rates of abuse, et cetera, et cetera. they're not pro-life, they're pro-birth because they don't care about that kid after it comes out of the womb. What about those kids' rights to life and liberty? This is the saddest part, to be honest. Like, it's all sad, but just also thinking about rape. 1 in 3 women are sexually assaulted. Every woman I know in my life has been sexually assaulted. In many states, there's no exceptions, even in the case of rape. And to make things worse, even if it makes things worse, most rapes go unreported in America, which means that a rapist can fight in court to get custody of their child if the rape goes unreported. And that person could not get an abortion. One thing I want to highlight is that there's a few groups of people that will be particularly impacted by this decision to overturn Roe versus Wade. I'm going to start with Black people and people of color because of the systematic oppression. And I hate to use that word because I feel like people don't understand it. So I'll just break it down a little bit. Historical events like redlining, segregation, immigrant degrading laws, and a long history of racism have left immigrants, people of color, and Black people in economically downturned situations. And America is purposefully keeping us poor. These people will not be able to fly out of state. And I think you guys can understand because you guys were talking about Scotland, people from Scotland flying to England, right? It's kind of like state to state, right? These people will not be able to do that. They will not be able to get a train. And with the damn gas prices, they will not be able to drive. But I also want to highlight another group of people that will be affected. And it really comes from the systematic oppression of classism in America, which is truly the issue at hand. The system of racism is purposefully trying to keep us divided from a common enemy, which is classism. Poor people will be the most affected. Poor people, poor POC, poor white people, poor, it doesn't matter. Just poor people will not be able to fly, get a train, go to Canada, go to Mexico. And young people who cannot leave outside of their parents' jurisdiction will be affected. I want us to pay attention to something in particular though. America's population is declining and we are a capitalistic society. We need workers, we need a middle class, which salary is barely surviving, and we need a poor low class to work mundane jobs that no one really wants. The ban on abortion is to keep our population up for economic means. It's for economic means and it's for religious purposes. And it's a violation of our rights to life and liberty. I truly do think that if America continues on this path, and I really, really want to say this, I do think that we will be on the brink of a civil war if they continue to take rights away. Many people are already considering taking up arms. I am, and I recommend it to everybody that I talk to. That's how tense the situation is getting and how apparent it is how the cards are being played. You guys from the UK, should start joining, and just every country, honestly, should start joining arms with the people of America to protect us. We don't know what that might look like, you having to bring us to your countries at a certain point. But currently, I think it really looks like putting pressure on the United States, putting pressure on the United Nations, making it apparent that the United Nations will be divided if the United States does not comply with human rights. Because it's a clear violation of human rights and it's a clear violation of international law. We hope that you will join us in pressuring your country, pressuring the United States, pressuring your parliament, pressuring whatever governmental system you have, and just as we would do for you. And please stay connected because we need to do this fight together. Thank you.